Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Autodromo Enzo Adino Ferrari, and welcome to the BSRTC, the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship here today. Well, in the commentary box alongside me and Amath tonight is Marco Barbanera. Marco, first time you'll be doing a BSRTC race. I'm sure you've heard from us before about how crazy the series is. How much are you looking forward to this night getting underway?
I'm so excited. Good evening, everybody. And I watched the races past few weeks. The action on track is amazing. I love the track. I love the car. I cannot drive the car, but I really like how these guys can battle and keep it on the track and give amazing racing all the time. It's going to be a fun night.
Yeah, really looking forward to this one. I actually did this race last year at Imola. Didn't go too well. I think I got disqualified in quite a few of the races, but yes, as Mark has been saying, these Kia Optimas are very difficult to drive if you're joining us for the first time tonight. You may think that because they're front-wheel drive that they're pretty easy to handle, but trust me, when you try to get these cars slowed down, they are pretty difficult. Imola then, Marco, Enzo Adino Ferrari. What's your opinion of the circuit? I value it quite highly. What about you?
Great track. Also, it's where I watched my very first Formula 1 race back in 2002, so it has a special place in my heart. It is a little bit different from the Formula 1 days. They changed a couple of corners, but still it's one of the better circuits in Europe.
Yeah, I think the way they've changed the track now, where they've got rid of the final chicane, it really does allow for Tamburello to be a real overtaking opportunity. I'm guessing Schumacher won in 2002. Yeah, sorry for anyone that's wanted to avoid that, but yeah, 2002, pretty much a season to avoid if you want an exciting one. But in terms of the championship here today, it is pretty exciting in terms of how close it is in the Drivers' Championship. It's Northern Lights Racing GT Omega Stephen Baxter that's leading the way. Dave Baker in second, just 19 points behind. Then his teammate Jamie Rushworth is in third. Then we've got Kip Stevens, who you'll probably agree is punching above his weight here in fourth. Ross McFarlane in fifth, then 4 points behind him it's Jack Sedgwick, Nicole Foggy seventh, Pete Harrod eighth. Then it's the first of the Apex Racing cars. Not often you see the first of them so far down the order. It's Wojciech Svidovic who is in ninth position, and then it's Carl Janssen, the highest of the AMs, rounding up the top 10. Over in the AM Championships, it is Janssen leading Mark Woodhouse by 2 points. Then 24 points behind Janssen, it's Sakovic. Hadfield in fourth, Dan Brown fifth, Lord Murray sixth. Then it's Matt Keeber, Max Wright, Michael Blake, Triple M's there, and then Tristan Bodis in 10th. Then in the Teams Championship, we've got CQR Academy, 800 points behind. They're running away with things at the moment. And then it's Northern Lights Racing GT Omega. Right then, that is the end of the qualifying session. So we'll get the grid up on the screen. And Ash Sutton, Marco, British touring car driver, and looks like he's leading the way again as he starts on the pole position.
Yeah, almost half a second ahead of P2, and you know, the run down to the first corner is going to be crucial. Not a very long race, so it's going to be important to have the track position, stay in front, and avoid the carnage that probably will happen behind.
Yeah, it will. It probably will. And if not in this race, it'll probably be in one of the race two, either race 2 or race 3, which has got the reverse grid wheel to look forward to as well. So we can run you through the grid quickly. We've got a good 90 seconds or so before we get the race underway. It's Sutton on pole, Sven Glatzel starting in second. Then it's Savidovic, Foggy, Hackerson, then McFarlane, Rushworth, Baker, then Hall, Newman, Harrod, and Blackhall rounding out the top 12. Moving on back, it's then it's Sedgwick, Stuart McFadden, Jack Regan, then Alex Simpson starting in 16th. Nathan Davis, his teammate behind him. Another Apex car, and Andreas Katz in 18th. Dan Brown in 19th, and 20th is another Apex car, it's Brian Holmes. 21st, Chris Wood, 22nd, Christian Rose, then Mark Woodhouse, Rusty Laidler, Mark Johnston, Adam McNally, one of the AM drivers, and Martin Front, and then Paul Smith starting in 28th place. 29th, Julian Janowski, the Bulgarian. 30th is Matt Keeber, then Michael Blake, Colin Cunniff, Tristan Bodis, Maciek Sakovic, Lorne Murray, Gareth Hickling. The grid just continues. Then it's Kip Stevens, not the best, nearly 3 seconds off the pace. Then Jack McIntyre, Rob Graham, Scott Malcolm, Dave Crozier, Lorne Murray, Carl Janssen down there. Then it's Craig Williams, and then towards the back of the grid, as the overlay is completely frozen, there we go, it's Bond, Janssen, Williams, Madsen, Wright, and Everett. Here we go. First race of the day here in the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship. Away we go. Look at them scramble for grip away from the line in these front-wheel drive Kia Optima. Sutton gets away well. There's a CQR club car there of Rushworth almost tagging the back of Hackerson there, and it looks like he's suffered greatly there, Rushworth, as we get on the brakes into the first corner. It's Sutton. Glatzel slots into second place. Good start from Savidovic as well. He maintains his third position. Foggy in fourth, McFarlane in fifth, and Hackerson trying to battle with him as well, Marco, as we go towards the Villeneuve chicane.
Sadly, not exactly a passing spot this one. Just have to stay in line and wait for the Tosa, where maybe you can have a lounge on the inside.
See, they do so, getting into the Tosa hairpin for the first time. No way through for any of those guys so far. Trying to look for, oh my word, we got a big one at the back.
Big crash, big crash, big crash.
It's one of the
Scott Malcolm and Robert Graham.
Ah, Scott Malcolm, yeah. Let's see if we can have a look at what happened. Oh, it's the teammates. The two teammates colliding. We'll have a look at it again. Malcolm going into Tosa. There he is. The 34 of Rob Graham gets on the AstroTurf on the exit. The Villeneuve chicane and just clatters into the teammate. And now it's Scott Malcolm. So disaster for Automech already. Malcolm's had to tow back to the pits. But the rest of the field now going up to the Variante Alta for the first time. And great start from Sutton. But Glatzel, he's not letting him escape. And if he can just be within half a second or so, Marco, going onto the front straight, these Kia Optimas are very good in the tow, so it'll be a good opportunity for him to get a move done into the first corner if he can just stay with him.
Yeah, and we talked about in the pre-race with the new design of the final part of the track. Really, the Tamburello is an overtaking spot, so gonna be crucial to cover the inside, especially later in the race. Even though the race is only 50 minutes long, so basically every corner counts.
Right, then over the line and to complete the opening lap, it's Sutton, Glatzel, Savidovic and Foggy, as close as that as they come over the line. The front four, the Fab Four, and Sutton moving just across there in the braking zone. Glatzel good enough to get on the brakes and avoid slamming into the back of the CQR club car, who is very much used to being at the front of the field. Drivers have gained quite a few positions. Carl Janssen has gained up 10. He's up to 33rd position. Alex Everett's gained 12 positions. He's up to 35th position. So the quick guys at the back working their way forward pretty early on here, as it's Sutton and Glatzel heading up the hill, and everyone is just so close on the circuits. Marco, at the moment it's difficult to pick a battle to focus on. Everyone's just so close.
Yeah, it looks like a big snake of cars. Only the few drivers in the back are distancing themselves because of the crash we saw earlier, so they have to lift. But I mean, the top 20 guys are all together now. They're coming into Acqua Minerali, and I love this corner. And by the way, Acqua Minerali means mineral waters, so it's a very strange name for a corner. I don't know why it's called that way. And back to the Variante Alta. Beautiful, beautiful track.
Yeah, the top chicane, I believe that's what it is, the Variante Alta, or the high chicane, and then down to the Rivazzas, the two Rivazzas there, and on their way again towards the final corner. Glatzel looking to the outside of Sutton, a misjudgment in braking, and he'll be nearly running into the back of him. That's typical touring car racing there, just nudging Sutton a little bit there, going through the first of the Rivazzas, and he's right back onto the front of the CQR club car as we go on board with Glatzel as he hunts down the CQR club car as we come over the line to complete the second lap.
Let's see if he tries a move this time. Yes, the run. Still a little bit to go. So on the outside, leader covering the inside. Let's see. He can hold it, and they all make it through the corner.
Yeah, so no position change there, and you can see that Glatzel's now had to take the defensive here as he covers from Wojciech Savidovic. Quite good to see an Apex Racing car up at the front. We haven't seen that for quite a while. Jamie Rushworth, the CQR club car that we saw on the inside, trying to get past Hackerson at the green light, down to 9th position. Hackerson's lost a position as well in all that when he got out of shape. Jack Sedgwick, there he is, up the inside of Rushworth going into the Tosa. And that is the Bodak car through into 10th and to 9th position. Rushworth down to 10th with his teammates, Newman and McFadden behind him in 11th and 12th as we go over the top of the hill and into the Piratella.
Back again to Acqua Minerali. The leaders are still line astern, one after the other, trying to find a little mistake from the car in front, trying to make a pass. It's not going to be easy. but we know these guys with these cars, they can force their way through if they need. So hard racing, fair racing, I absolutely love this.
Oh, Alex Simpson's been taken out by his own teammates. Oh dear me. Well, we've already seen Automech cars colliding. Now it's the turn of the Apex Racing cars. It's car 37. That is Nathan Davis, and Alex is not going to be happy there as we cut back to the leaders coming out of the second Ravazza. Don't know if you saw that, Marco,
yeah.
But yeah, I'm glad that we haven't got the Apex drivers in the Discord chat right now.
Seems to be the team of the race so far. Teammates taking each other out. It's unfortunate, but with this close racing, look at what is going on in the front of the pack. Amazing racing again.
Sutton defending the inside line as he has done, but he goes a bit deep into the Tamburello. This is going to close things up even more. My word, this is close as they go through into the Ringo chicane. Oh, they nearly collided there, Glatzel and Sutton. Using his experience, Sutton, and he's able to hold on. Alex Simpson has had to return to the pits. He hasn't towed back, so that will save him a bit of time. As up the inside there goes Nicole Foggy in the Scuderia Haggis. Northern Ice Racing car is rubbing the back of Savidovic's bumper there as they go over the top of the hill. Race order, then it's McFarlane 5th, Hackerson 6th, then it's Dave Baker. Ahead of Stephen Baxter, the championship leader. Just trying to find where Baxter is in the field, actually. He is in, it's Reagan, isn't it, in 14th place. Yeah, Baxter not here tonight.
What's going on here in the front is that basically they are so close that everybody in the top 10 or 15 could win this race. If there's a mistake from one driver, a car contact, somebody gets turned, there's a big pile-up, anything can happen, and it's very, very dicey at the front right now. These guys are racing very hard.
Also,
see, maybe a slowdown. Maybe a slowdown for the car in second position. Oh, there's a crash!
Oh!
Ross McFarlane is in the wall.
Well, yeah, I was looking at the bell for a second. Here we go. Let's have a look at the replay. This is Hackerson. Oh, he touched him. And that's all you need. That's all those Kia Optimas need, and hard into the concrete wall on the outside. That's car 15, Ross McFarlane, with quite a bit of damage, and he might have to visit the pits as Savidovic is up into second position. Or is he? Glatzel. Oh! Oh, he's going to get up the inside there, going down the front straight, and look how out of shape that Northern Lights Racing GTM mega car is as we start lap 5.
Yeah. I think that the Glatzel got a slowdown coming out of the Variante Alta because he had to really lift the gas, and that's what caused this big gap between P2 and P1 now. And say big gap, it should be around 1.5 seconds, so it's not that big, but for this race it's a huge gap.
I was just about to ask you when Glatzel went a bit wide on the exit of the Variante Alta whether you do get a slowdown for that, and it looks like he has, so...
You do, yeah, you do.
There you go. Driver's trying to use all the limits of the track, and it comes back to Hort Sven Glatzel there because he's now dropped down to 3rd position as we're on lap 5 of the race, and yes, Ash Sutton has got the gap up to around, well, it's over 1.5 seconds because he's not even in the battle graphics. It's 1.6 as it's now the battle for second between Savidovic, Glatzel and Foggy. Savidovic is a quick driver though, Marco. He's a 3-time champion in the BSRTC, so this should be a good opportunity for us to see if he can close the gap on Sutton with just over half the race to go.
Yeah, I am basically consider myself a fan in the booth right now, so I'm really willing to learn about the drivers. Also, we are on the topic, you also get a slowdown if you go wide at the Acqua Minerali coming out of the corner on the right-hander, so it's a little bit unforgiving, but you cannot gain any kind of advantage by running wide on this track.
What they should do is just put the gravel trap back there again, and that would stop anyone running out wide.
100%. I am 100% with you on this.
Yeah. Bring back gravel traps. It would be my thing if I took over as the FIA president. Glatzel now having to defend from his teammates. Let's look back further down the field. So this is Stuart McFadden, 3 tenths of a second behind his teammate Pete Newman. Well, that closes right up as they go into the Tamburello there, as Newman has a huge amount of understeer going through the opening chicane of the circuit. CQR Academy doing well in the teams championship. They sit in 2nd position, but a good fair distance away from their fellow CQR team, CQR. Going up to Tosa, you can see Pete Harrod is also there in the CQR, the normal team. Then it's Jack Regan. in the Northern Ice Racing GT Omega car, then it's Katz. And further up the road, the Bodak car of Jack Sedgwick has got Michael Hall for company as they go into the Piratella. Out to back with a Minerali then, just over the halfway point in this race. Don't forget we haven't got a 4, we might get a 4 reverse grid. It all determines on what the Wheel of Fortune says. You can also see by the position gains on the left hand side that Jack Sedgwick, who we're looking at right now, has gained 7 positions. Let's have a look back further down the field. So Carl Janssen, here he is. He's sat in 25th position and has gained 18 places since the start of the race. He's the biggest mover. And just behind him, it's pretty close between the likes of Michael Blake and Colin Cunniff and Julian Janowski. Everywhere you look, there's battles here, and these positions could be crucial because these are the kind of places where you'll be when it comes to the reverse grid, which will be coming up at the end of the opening race.
Yeah, and remember that you have to be on the lead lap to benefit from the reverse, if I'm not mistaken. So those guys that were involved in the first lap or second lap crashes, sadly, will have to, I think, start at the back again in race 2, but that will also give us some drivers very hungry for positions, trying to make the most overtakes possible in the short amount of time of the second race. So it's going to be interesting top to bottom in the second race, but we still have to finish the first, and we are seeing the gap in front, 1.5 seconds still, first to second, so it's still there, not growing, not shrinking.
Epic duel here between Hackison, Rushworth, McFadden, Newman, Harrod. They were wheel to wheel at one point, but it's sort of settled down now as they go over the top of the hill. Hackison doing a good job of keeping Rushworth at bay. These two collided at the very start of the race. Literally within a few seconds, and Hackison understeers a bit wide. Oh, Rushworth taps the back of the Kia Optima there as they go down the hill and into an Aqua Minerali. So difficult to slow the cars down here because you're trying to brake and turn at the same time. Hackison runs a little bit wide, isn't able to carry the speed on the exit. And this is Rushworth's opportunity into the Variante Alto. If he can get alongside and outbrake the boosted car, which he can't do, he's just not close enough, and he could have got by, but this battle for 8th continues to rage on as we're on lap 7 of 11.
Yeah, great racing, and enjoying this is Michael Hall, which he is pulling away from the guys behind, and he can focus on Jack Sedgwick in front of him and all the other cars in the top 7.
Coming out of the final corner then. Rising on board with Jamie Rushworth, who's lost 2 positions since the start of the race. Hackison's lost 3, but this will be the opportunity for Rushworth to get one of those positions back and demote Hackison even further as they come over the line. You can see Slipstream just starting to take a bit of effect here. But even with the Variante Bassa removed, the straight just isn't long enough for Jamie to get by as they go through the first corner again. Good run there, and nearly goes into the back of the boosted car. He's doing a very good job of defending this 8th place.
Once again, I know that the Villeneuve is not a passing spot because that's where I was sitting at the 2002 Grand Prix. There was one overtake the entire race. This race has already more overtakes than that, and we have got more racing later in the evening, so I think it's no match. But still, that is very difficult to pass at the Villeneuve chicane, so even with these cars. Not impossible, but very difficult.
You've got to be almost clear alongside, or almost getting the move done before you get into there. Looking even further back, this is the battle for 16th place. You've got Nathan Davis, who is racing on and trying to make sure he's not anywhere near his teammates. Oh, they've collided. Oh. Well, fortunately, Holmes and Brown didn't hit anybody else, but I think that could be a pretty hefty slowdown for Brian Holmes. And this has just bunched up everything else. Yeah, there it is.
And be careful, guys.
Oh,
oh, again contact.
Oh, they're everywhere. This is Dan Brown's opportunity to get some positions back. Brian Holmes has been disqualified.
Yeah.
He's just disappeared, so that is the end of his race. That's one Apex car colliding with another, and another Apex car getting disqualified. So apart from Savidovic, things aren't going really at all well for them here. As on to lap 9 of 11, 2/3 distance, sorry, 3/4 distance. And Dan Brown remains in that 18th position. Right, back to the battle between Rushworth and Hackerson, which remains about a tenth of a second.
I think that he will try to do the pass there at the last lap. If he can make the pass in any other place at the last lap, he will try the pass at the Tamburello, I think.
Yeah, that looks like where if push came to shove, you could probably get it done. This is just one huge train at the moment. I know we've got 6 cars in that battle graphic, but includes a few more. We've got Jack Regan, Andreas Katz in there as well, and Jake Blackhall, the Aussie, in there too. Hackerson drifting his way almost through the Piratella, running out a bit wide onto the curbs, allows Rushworth to close in a little bit more. Going into Aquina Minerali. On the brakes, you see a few different lines being taken there on entry. Now up over the top of the hill, and it looks like the CQR Academy car Newman is having to do some defensive driving here from Stuart McFadden, who closes right up under braking there as they vault the curbs at the Variante Alta chicane and power their way back down the hill towards the Rivazza.
Very tough corner here because the road is going down. Very, very difficult to stop any car, but this car especially.
Saw Ross McFarlane getting run into earlier. McFarlane is currently in whereabouts is he on? He's down in 43rd position. Don't know if he's still on the lead lap. We'll find out at the end of the race. But over the line come the drivers again to start the penultimate lap of the race. Ash Sutton's long gone. He's got a good 2-second advantage over Wojciech Svidovic in second. And now on the brakes they go again. Rushworth looking up the inside of Hackerson. Maybe just a dress rehearsal for what's going to come later. Rusty Laidler is in a drag race here with one of the Simmortal cars. This is Mark Johnston trying to get a move done around the outside into Tamburello. It'll be amazing we can pull that one off. No.
Oh, he's wide.
Yep. across the gravel and across the grass, and that'll probably be a slowdown as well, and even more lost time as Johnston somehow was able to hold on to the position behind, but everyone else is trying to get it as well, including Janssen, who's gained 23 positions.
I saw Janssen drive in the V8 and in the Euro V8 Championship this season, and he's a very, very good driver, so I'm not surprised.
Yeah, he won the
totally different car from this, but when you're a good driver, you're a good driver.
Yeah, he won the World GT Championship as well on the Monday nights. Looks like he's getting used to the Kia Optima. The season didn't start off too well for him. His teammate Josh Thompson isn't here today, unfortunately, so he may have boosted teammates, but in terms of the Radicals boosted fold, he's the only driver. Nathan Davis might have been disqualified. I think he has, because he's just dropping down the order now, and it doesn't surprise me. You don't have to get too many 4Xs in this series before you get DQ'd, and him and Alex Simpson can tussle it out in the Apex Discord, I believe, as they go through the Variante Alta again. And 1.5 laps to go. Janssen fancies gaining in a 25th position as he lines up Johnston going into the Rivazza. Might have to move further up the field, you know, because look at this. This is close. This is Jack Sedgwick versus Dave Baker. Baker in his customary 6th position. He always seems to finish in 6th, but he wants 5th now, and he could get it from the Bozak car going into the first corner. And he does. See if Rushworth can get it done here then. Oh, they're wheel to wheel.
Ooh.
Marco, and up the inside. Hackerson just about clear. And here comes the Academy car of McFadden.
They make it work, I don't know how, through the Villeneuve chicane.
Oh! Careful, guys. Rushworth up the inside. Somehow he might just get this done, you know. Hackerson, unfortunately, there's just no grip out there in the boosted car, and through goes Rushworth, through goes Pete Newman as well. Hackerson, in the space of about 2 corners, has lost 2 positions, and it could get worse as they come over the top of the hill. Hackerson trying to stop the rot. McFadden up the inside now, and they touch. And out wide goes Hackerson. That's Hackerson down to 11th. Howard now up the inside. The floodgates have well and truly opened here. Howard through as well, so Hackerson down to 12th. I think he'll be able to stop the rot before Regan gets there, but meanwhile, Ash Sutton on his way towards the Rivazza. Credit to Svidovic, he has got the gap down from 2 seconds to about 6/10. Maybe Sutton maybe was just taking it a bit easy, but through the final corner comes Ash Sutton, the reigning British Touring Car Champion for Subaru. He's going to come out the final corner and he's going to win the opening race of the day. Lights the flag. He was troubled for a little while from Sven Glatzel, but after him and Savidovic started battling, he didn't look back, and Ash Sutton wins the opening race. Savidovic second. It's not over yet. It's a drag race, maybe even a slowdown for Newman, because through goes McFadden, through goes Harrod, and Newman's going to finish in 11th place in the end. Anyone,
wow,
any
what
other
a race.
battles? Battles continue, I think, as they come across the line. Any close ones I can find here? It's 0.2 of a second between Janowski and one of the Sim Immortal cars there. That's Matt Keeber. Over line goes Janowski there in 28th place. Zakovic might have lost a position there. Drag race there. Bodis beat him to the line by a few hundredths of a second. Further back, Max Wright comes across the line, one of the few Automech cars to finish after what happened at the start of the race. And now here comes Gareth Hickling in 40th position. He is going to be the last car to finish. Well, Marco, your first BSRTC race, pretty crazy, and that's just race one.
Yeah, that's race one exactly, because I haven't yet seen the reverse grid race. So this was the appetizer, and it was a very, very good appetizer, I have to say. Amazing racing, I had a lot of fun, and the battles all across the field were amazing. It doesn't matter if it's for first or for last position, these guys are amazing.
So running through the finishing order then from the opening race of the day. Don't forget we've got the reverse grid to come. Ash Sutton wins the race then. Car 0-1 finishing ahead of Car 1 in second place. Wojciech Svidovic will claim some pride for the Apex Racing team. The only Apex Racing driver to finish inside the top 10, and only 2 of them finished inside the top 18. Sven Glatzel finished in 3rd. He did try to get the lead for a little while, but it just didn't work out in the end. Nicole Foggy finishing in 4th, Dave Baker 5th, Jack Sedgwick 6th, Michael Hall 7th, Jamie Rushworth gaining 1 position there on the final lap to finish in 8th place, and Stuart McFadden getting a position on the run to the line, and then 10th for Pete Harrod, 11th for Pete Newman, 12th for Ben Hackison, who was in 8th at the start of the final lap, dropped down to 12th by the end. Jack Regan, championship leader, finishing in 13th place. Dave Baker should inherit that, just looking at the gap between them. Andreas Katz finishing in 4th, the second of the Apex Racing cars. Jake Blackhall 5th, Christian Rose 6th, 7th Rusty Laidler. Carl Janssen, the highest of the AM drivers, in 18th place. The Swede gaining 25 positions to finish in 18th place in the end. Moving on back, 19th place finish for Mark Johnston, then Mark Woodhouse in 20th. It seemed today most of these names do come in pairs. Chris Wood in 21st, Dan Brown 22nd, Alex Everett 23rd, 24th Martin Front, then Paul Smith 25th, Michael Blake 26th, 27th for Matt Keever, Julian Janowski in 28th, then 29th is Tristan Bodis, 30th for Maciek Sakovic, Lorne Murray in 31st, Colin Cunniff in 32nd place. Then 33rd, Jack McIntyre, Kip Stevens, 34th, 35th for Max Wright, 36th, Adam McNally. And moving towards the rear of the field, Dave Crozier, 37th, Laura Bond, 38th, Gareth Hickling, 39th, and then the cars that didn't finish the race. Nathan Davis, 2 laps down, disqualified. Brian Holmes, 4 laps down, another Apex car in issues, he got disqualified as well. Ross McFarlane, 7 laps down. Too much damage, I reckon, after what happened down at Rivatsa. Then Alex Simpson, taken out by one of his own teammates. Then Rob Graham and Scott Malcolm, 2 more teammates colliding. And Nick Madsen, the Bodak car, didn't take the start of the race. Right then, that is the field done. Now it's time for the first reverse grid of the evening. So just going to get that up. Wherever I left it. It's in a folder somewhere. BSRTC, reverse grid wheel. There it is. That's the 2017 one. Hang on. I've got it here somewhere. Here it is. And we'll get the show on the road and determine who's going to be starting on pole position for this second race of the day here. Reverse grid wheel's going to come up in a second. There it is. Just going to spin it, and then we'll We'll find out who's going to be on the pole. Oh, hello. It is spinning. There it is. Oh, it's going to be a full -1. That's as big as it gets. That is as big as it gets. Marco, looking on your official iRacing sim timing, who's that going to be for the second race of the day on pole position? Full -1. So the last car on the lead lap, the penultimate car that finished behind, the car that finished ahead of him, should I say?
Should be Laura Bond in pole position from P39 in the first race.
There we go. Well, it's Laura Bond then, going to be on the pole for the second race of the day here in the BSRTC. And yeah, with a full -1, I think things are just going to get even more crazy. So join us after the break here on Apex Racing TV for the second race here at Imola. Welcome back to the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship here at Imola. Getting set for the second race of the day, a full -1 reverse grid. So we've got Laura Bond on the pole, Dan Brown second, then it's Baker, Laidler, Wood, Glatzel, Rushworth, Wright, Reagan and Ross McFarlane rounding out the top 10. Adam Bath and Marco back with you in the commentary box here. And Marco, you can tell from the sun, it's going to be a hot one, this second race.
Yeah, 48 Celsius, 118 Fahrenheit. So the track, I heard the driver already complaining. The track is like a nice skating rink, so it's going to be tough for these guys. They will have to battle with the other drivers, but they will have to battle with the car and the track. And it's really, really hot. It's going to be a very tough race for everybody, for the guys in the front and the guys in the back.
Here we go. We're away. Laura Bond didn't take the start, incidentally. It's Crozier that started on the pole. Adam McNally up the inside of him already. Here comes one of the Automech cars. That's Max Wright getting up the inside into the Tamburello. Who's going to be leading into their first then? Crozier round the outside. He's going to be having the inside for the second part, but he gives McNally too much space on the inside, and the Youth Energy car takes the lead on the exit of the chicane.
Yeah, nice pass. Let's see how they will sort it out at the Villeneuve chicane. Huge pack of cars. McNally is still in the lead.
Just looking from the blimp. Everybody through cleanly, no crashes. And now through the Tosa and up the hill for the first time. It's McNally, then Crozier, McIntyre, Wright, Cunniff, Stevens, Murray. Position changes taking place everywhere as everybody's just wheel to wheel over the top of the hill. So now into the Piratella. Maciek Sakovic up the inside of Lorne Murray. This is for 7th and 8th. Out wide goes the Automech car of Murray. Back on he goes. And Sakovic has to slot in behind, and up the inside of him goes Julian Janowski. That's Janowski at 4 positions already in the opening half a lap to 8th position now as we go to the Variante Alta. Everywhere you look, there's something going on. Paul Smith's in the mix. This is him trying to get past Michael Blake going into the Variante Alta. Position gains so far. Ash Sutton, no surprises, has gained 10 positions already. Position changes everywhere. Oh my word, there's a crash. And it's Jack Sedgwick. It's also, that's number 20. That's Jack Regan, championship leader. A lot of damage to the Northern Lights Racing GTM Mega Car. And Martin Front also involved in that as well. There's, yeah, that
was a messy one, yeah,
going on at the Variante Alta. Look at this though, Marco, it's wheel to wheel for second place. Looks like Dave Crozier could be about to lose second. It's going to be a Youth Energy 1-2 as they come across the line.
Almost 3 wide going into the first corner, trying to sort themselves out while the leader tries to make a gap from P2. Oh, another huge contact. They save it somehow. They leave to tell the tale. That was a crazy move at the first corner, banging doors, and maybe a slowdown for Murray.
Yeah, Murray slow down, and usually if you get a slowdown in the opening 2 laps, it is a killer. Oh,
yep.
That was Janowski getting all sorts of out of shape there, going for the Villeneuve chicane. Stevens hits him quite forcefully. They're going into the Tosa hairpin. This is over 6th and 7th as the first lap's completed. Carly Hansen, he was moaning on the YouTube chat about having to go back to pretty much where he started. He's gained 11 positions and he's trying to get past Paul Smith here, going into the Piratella at the top of the hill. It's going to be brave he can get that done around the outside. He's out of shape. He's very sideways there and using an off track as well as he gets back. He regains his composure, and here's one of the Automech cars behind. That's Murray, who's trying to regain his composure after the slowdown, and just behind there's 2 wide as well.
Yeah, when you take the slowdown, not only you hurt yourself, but you also hurt the other guys behind you, because it basically creates a huge pack of car trying to avoid you, trying to get into the same space. And we saw that in the first race when the driver in second position had a slowdown. This was basically what changed the race and made it possible for the leader to win and to pull a gap.
Michael Blake past Sakovic. Sakovic is all sorts of in trouble. Off he goes. Stevens through. Janssen through. Smith trying to hold it out around the outside. He's going to be in the gravel, and now he's going to be under pressure from Lorne Murray. Stevens, I don't know what is going on with Stevens. He might have a slowdown as well, I think. Battle for the lead. Battle for the lead. Youth Energy. It's Jack McIntyre versus Adam McNally. It's a change of position at the front. It's the pro driver, Jack McIntyre, taking the lead. Adam McNally down to second.
He's wide.
Oh dear. Well, this is McNally back into the lead. Max right through into second, and just when it looked like that. Oh, Murray's dropping down the order. Something's happened. Oh, he's off. The Automech not killed Kozlov in the Tamburello chicane. What happened here?
Yeah, facing the wrong way and stopping. I think he has a little bit of damage. Engaging reverse. And back on the track. No. Still waiting for all the cars to pass, I think.
God. Must be really annoying having to wait for everybody to get by. But just when it looked like, Marco, that the two teammates at the front, the Youth Energy drivers, had coordinated a change of position at the front, Jack McIntyre goes and overshoots the first chicane. Yeah,
that was odd. You have to think that between teammates they are talking to each other. Maybe they were not. He was not focused on the corner. Maybe didn't want to hurt his teammate going into making the overtake, and he went straight ahead at the Tamburello, losing a lot of time.
So Janowski going very sideways there through Akron and Minerali. Carly Hansen up to 7th position now. Dave Crozier having to hold back Michael Blake. And Blake running out wide on the exit. It's got a great exit here from the Variante Alta. This could be the Simortal car past the Team Mad car going into the Rivazzas. Very close indeed here between in a battle for 8th and 9th. It's Blake that's through into 8th.
Oh, contact!
What's happened?
Contact, and Andreas Katz and Mark Woodas, I think they had contact coming into the Rivazza. Just behind the pack we were watching, they all made it through. They saved the car, they were sideways. These guys are amazing.
Let's have a look. Katz. Oh, Stevens coming in like a wrecking ball. It was the ProSim car coming in, colliding with Katz, and through goes the Team Mad car of Woodhouse, into 12th position. So stuff going on there. Meanwhile, Adam McNally is 1.5 seconds away. He's doing what Ash Sutton did in the opening race, making that gap. Look at this. This is Dave Crozier versus Alex Everett. Looks like Everett's got the move done. Crozier's just dropping back at the moment. He is a Pro-Am driver after all. That's no disrespect, but you can tell the Pro drivers are trying to work their way to the front, and Crozier just trying to hold them back as Katz looks up the inside going into the Tosa. Really gets it done as well. See if we can get it done into the Piratella. We don't see too many moves going into this left-hander marker. Let's see if the Apex car can get it done this time.
Let's see, side by side entering the corner, and he makes it stick.
There you go, good move by Katz. That's 16 positions gained. From what I can see, he is the biggest mover in the field so far. Ash Sutton's trying to beat him for that. Carly Hansen, I think, might have just gained another position. Yes, he has. I think Janowski has had a slowdown. And now Jansen's trying to get past Sakovic going into the Variante Alta. Position changes elsewhere. You can see on the timing tower they're changing left and right. But Jansen got a great run here. Let's go on board from the roll bar here as we go into the Rivazza. Oh, you can see he's wrestling with the wheel under braking. And he's got the move done.
Great pass, great overtake.
Really great job by Carly Hansen. Up to 5th, 17 positions gains. It's all going so well for him at the moment. Top 5 in the offing here is into the pits comes Kip Stevens. Either a meatball or a penalty for not serving a slowdown. Whatever, it's him now being ruled out of a chance of finishing in the top 20. And the battle for second continues to rage here. We've got Colin Cunniff in second. Tell you what though, Marco, they are closing the gap to the leader. The gap is now, what, 0.6 of a second?
Yeah. Maybe a mistake because usually when you are battling with other drivers, you are losing time from the cars around you, but they are gaining. So I think that the leader might have made a little mistake.
Let's not forget that Adam McNally is a Pro-Am driver. Started racing in the BSRTC probably this season, and used to seeing him in the Porsches. Raced in the Club Series as well for a little bit, I believe. And yeah, he's doing well here at the moment. But Colin Cunniff, the Pro driver with the blue stripe on the timing tower, he is coming at him, and we have still got just over half the race to go. When we get to the end of this lap, we'll be past the halfway point. and he's going to have to do some defending. But that wasn't the best line for Aquina Minerali. And by the time we get to the end of this lap, Colin Cunniff could be right with him, or if not that, he could be through. Oh, not the best exits there from McNally, and Cunniff could get this done into the Rivazza, Marco.
Yeah, he can try. He was very smart not to try the pass in the Variante Alta. Safer place here. Let's see.
Bit hesitant.
Nope.
Yeah. Oh. The gap was nearly open there, and now through the final corner onto the front straight. Using all the curbs on the exit there. Max Wright's not too far behind him either. Problem for Paul Smith. Trying to find where he is. He's off in the gravel, but we're going to have to keep up with this battle now for the lead. Looking back from Adam McNally. Here comes Colin Cunniff. Oh, he hits him. Just a small
Can he stop
tap.
the car? Can he stop the car? Oh!
Oh, they touch. And through goes Cunniff into the lead. McNally's trying to hold him back. Surely he's got it done unless McNally can power his way around the outside. Is he brave enough to try it?
Oh!
And now his teammate Jack McIntyre is almost colliding with Max Wright there going through the Villeneuve chicane. And here comes Carl Janssen. Could Carl Janssen win it? He's probably got the pace to win it, but can he get there?
And most of the top drivers are still back in the field, so I think that he has a chance to win the race. He has to pass 4 other guys, not going to be easy. Goes for the first pass here at the Piratella.
Oh.
Yes, the outside door banging, Acqua Minerali. Oh,
good driving there by McIntyre. Change for the lead. Off goes Colin Cunniff. Through goes Adam McNally back into the lead then, and that will be a slowdown as well for Colin Cunniff. What happened here? Right, that's not the person we want to look at. We want to look at what happened to Colin Cunniff. Here he is on the replay. He's leading. He's going into the Aquina Minerali. Oh, he gets 2 wheels on the grass on the outside and has to take the shortcut, and there's a slowdown penalty for him. He's down to 5th position, and now Adam McNally leads, but it's now Max Wright that's in 2nd, and Carl Janssen has got a free position there. He's now up into 3rd place.
yes.
Oh!
Yes. Oh, a little bit wide, the leader. Let's see if Wright can punch his way through.
Out of the Rivazza then. Looking from the chopper here as we come over the line to start lap 7. What an amazing second race this is. Carl Janssen was moaning on the YouTube chat about how he had to go back into the midfield after the reverse grid. But here comes Max Wright for the lead. This could gift Carl Janssen maybe 2 places. They take each other out. They touch. They rub door handles, and Janssen up the inside going into the first corner. Max Wright goes off.
And the leader is wide again. Oh, and Janssen tries to take the lead.
Oh, they touch. And Janssen's through. Unbelievable. Here comes Colin Cunniff. He gets out of it. The Northern Lights Racing flag with the Scottish flag on the top. And now McIntyre around the outside of his teammate as we go into the Tosa. How quickly things have changed here. It's Janssen leading. Wright in 2nd. McIntyre 3rd. McNally 4th. Cunniff 5th. Sakovic 6th.
Let's see if Janssen can pull a gap now. He's first. 3 track ahead of him, but I think around 15 cars behind him hunting for his first position.
Absolutely incredible by Carl Janssen. It's now down to Max Wright to try and peg him back. Let's go into the midfield. Look at this. This is Dave Baker. This is Ben Hackerson. It's a Sim Auto car as well in Matt Keeber. Baker runs out wide, so does Hackerson. This is a huge battle for 18th place, and just up the road you can see Savinovic and Sutton going at it. These two were 1st and 2nd in the opening race of the day. Someone's dropping down the order. I can't work out who it is. It's Cunniff again. Colin Cunniff's off at Variante Alta. Right, let's see what happens here. This is Jack McIntyre on the outside, Cunniff on the inside. Oh, he might have had a tap from Sakovic. Just going to have a look at that one more time. This is going into the outer. We're looking back from Cunniff. Oh, yeah, take that, he says Sakovic, and off he goes.
Also, he was riding the curb very hardly and get a contact there, automatic spin.
Anna McNally now trying to get back past Maciek Sakovic here. This is over 4th and 5th as they come across the line on lap 8 of 11. Watch out for Julian Janowski as well, just behind them in 6th place. On the brakes, Sakovic in the Team Ad car just about makes the first corner. But a poor exit. Didn't get the power down at all well there. And this closes things up even more. Here comes Katz, car 42. Apex Racing car, 19 positions gained. Could it be 20? Time's running out and he hits it.
Oh no!
Well,
he hit the curb and couldn't control his car, I think.
Let's have a look. That's not the angle we wanted. Let's go again. Here we go. This is on board with Katz. Up the inside. He does hit the curb. I don't know if that was on, but we'll see what the stewards say. Either way, that is Katz up into 6th position now. And his next target's McNally and Sakovic. Everybody, they know that time is of the essence. There's not too many laps left, Marco, and some of them are taking some big risks here to try and get those positions.
Yeah, and we just saw that at the Villeneuve chicane. We said in the beginning of the broadcast, probably the worst passing opportunity of the track. Still, Katz went for it, and there was contact. So let's see how they will judge the crash. Yeah,
they do have stewards here. They do listen to both parties when they make their decisions. So we'll wait and see on that one. 2 tenths of a second here between Jamie Rushworth and Mark Johnston. This is another battle we've got on track here. So 13th and 14th. Johnston runs wide. Rushworth nearly into the back of him. And the CQR Club car could have a real opportunity to get by here as they come across the line. Onto lap 9 of 11 now. 3/4 distance. See if Rushworth can get it done. CQR versus Simortal as they come across the line. Johnston trying to hold on. A little tap of brakes there. Rushworth up the inside. And that is as clinical a move as you'll see. Makes the apex. Rushworth through. And I think Katz might have just got past... Oh, he's trying to get past Adam McNally. Oh no, what's happened to Janssen? He's lost the lead. Max Wright leads. Oh, and off goes one of the Youth Energy cars. Into the wall goes Adam McNally. It's all happening here. Right, first of all, let's see what happened to McNally. He's off. Quarter panel by Alex Everett. He goes off. Now we're going to see what happened to Carl Janssen. Marco, have you seen what happened to the Radicals boosted car?
I have to say no, because he disappeared while he was exiting the Villeneuve chicane. I think he went on the gravel. I have no idea.
May have had a few connection issues. Something happened. Evening to Ryan Walker on the stream. He's joining us at probably one of the craziest times. Well, Max Wright leads then. Jack McIntyre is now 2.3 seconds behind. Automech Knock Hill on course for a prize victory here as McIntyre blinks and is... Oh, I thought he was DQ'd then for a second. But now Janssen has got 2 laps to try and get back to the front. The gap is 2 seconds. Can it be done? Well, we're about to find out. He's got the pace to get there. Has he used up all the tyres? Well, he's going to get second place on the plate here, isn't he, Marco, if McIntyre runs wide like that again?
Yeah, not a good line through the Rivazza corner. Let's see if Janssen can make his way past here at the first corner, Tamburello chicane.
Penultimate lap then. There's the timing line. There's Janssen. He's alongside. He should get second place as long as he gets his braking right into the first corner. McIntyre giving him the room, plenty of room, and Janssen hits the apex beautifully there. So through goes Janssen into second place. The gap is 1.4 seconds with not long to go. Oof! McIntyre having a go back at him. He wasn't going to lie down and have that second place, but it looks like Janssen now after it. Problem for... Oh,
he's gone again.
He's DQ'd unless he's going to come back. He is back.
He's back. He is back.
It looks to be, it's the same part of the circuit where it happened last time. Right.
And I think he slowed down a lot because I think he lost a bunch of positions.
Yeah, he has. He's dropped down to 10th place this time. It's had a much bigger effect. He's now wheel to wheel with Pete Harrod. Oh, going to nearly have a quarter panel on our hands here. Foggy's, by the way, you can see on the position gains that Foggy's gained 25 positions, Ash Sutton's gained 27, Ash Sutton, whereabouts is he on the circuit? Let's give him a bit of love. There he is. I don't think he's going to gain any more places unless the cars in front take each other out. But what an amazing drive that is for Ash Sutton to go to get up to 12th place after starting 25 positions below that, as Janssen vaults the curbs. And we're about to start the final lap.
I fear he might be having hardware issues because the fact that both times he disappeared, he basically stopped and lost a bunch of positions.
Yeah, it's not even if. It's not even. Oh, he's DQ'd. I think that's it. That is it. I think Carl Janssen is done. What a shame. Yeah, I think that is it. What a shame for Carl Janssen, because he was leading, then he was off, and we thought we might have an amazing fight back to win, but it just wasn't to be. Hardware issues followed by a DQ there, as Chris Wood battles with Pete Harrod, who battles with Mark Woodhouse here going into the first corner on the final lap of the race. He's there, Harrod. He's not going to go away. Ooh. What a crazy race this is.
Meanwhile, only 0.5 of a second between the first two cars going into the final lap. Let's see if Wright can hold on McIntyre.
Wow. Well, I did say a lap ago that Automech could be en route to a prize victory, but maybe the tyres have gone. Let's reiterate, the track temperature is in the high 40s here at Imola, and some of the drivers were saying like it's like racing on a skating rink here. Can Max Wright hold on for about 2/3 of a lap? Maciek Sakovic and Andreas Katz are coming as well. Katz is a very quick driver. He's won 2 BSRTC titles. Could he snatch a late victory here? What about Maciek Sakovic? He's a Club Series champion. McIntyre is going to try and get it done around the outside here going into Aquin and Monterali. That's going to slow them up even more. Here comes Sakovic.
Yeah, that was not a good look for him on the outside of Acqua Minerali. It's very difficult to pass. Now he has to defend himself here at the Variante Alta.
Katz trying to take a final position on the podium. Oh, he might get done here, but he gets the best line on the exit. Max Wright, he's now just got to make sure that he can slow the car down and get through Rivazza, and an Automech Knock Hill could be about to take a victory here. Into Rivazza. Is McIntyre going to get physical with him? Oh, he makes the corner. Fortunately for him, McIntyre doesn't make a good corner, so does Sakovic. Has a great exit of Rivazza. He's up the inside. It's going to be a drag race for second. Max Wright, though, what a race this is. So many different leaders, but Max Wright is the one constant. He's going to come across the line and win the second race. It's a drag race for second. It's going to be McIntyre that gets it. Third for Sakovic. Fourth for Andreas Katz. Well, what a finish.
That was the definition of argy-bargy, I think, between the drivers, top 4 drivers for the win. And they were all inside 0.5 of a second, first through fourth. Amazing.
Here comes another drag race. This is Nathan Davis versus Jake Blackhall. Jack Sedgwick, I think, may have been DQ'd as well on the last lap. He dropped back as far as potentially 34th. Here is Laura Bond versus Rob Graham versus Lauren Murray. Laura Bond was supposed to be starting on the pole position earlier. Instead, she started from the pit lane. 2 Automech Knock Hill cars here. 1 Pro Sim car. It's going to be Malcolm in 6th, Graham 7th, Bond 8th, Murray 9th. And Kip Stevens is, I think, on the lead lap, but he's taking his time about getting to the finish line. He's trying to ride a broken horse here as he comes around the final corner. But Max Wright, the winner. What a job for Automech Knock Hill that was. Don't get too many wins, but that paint scheme that we see in the British Touring Car Championship with Rory Butcher working well, and so many different leaders as well. We had Colin Cunniff leading for a while. He got a slowdown penalty and dropped down the order. Then we had Adam McNally leading for a while. Then things went south there for him. And then we had, Carl Janssen leading. And then issues up the field of chicane. It's not even as if, Marco, that he disappeared and then reappeared further down the road. He would disappear and then reappear in exactly the same point where he disappeared. It was quite weird. Yeah,
sadly my prediction was right, because he just said on the YouTube chat that they had freezing with his computer. So, and I think he's done for today, sadly. This is sad because he was one of the best racers, both in race 1 and in race 2. But when the hardware is not on your side, there's nothing to do.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. He gained so many positions in the opening race. Kip Stevens is going to come across the line to be the final finisher. Unfortunately for him, if we do get a full -1, it won't be him on the pole. Don't know who it could be, actually. We'll have to see. I think if you finish 1 lap down, you are eligible for the reverse grid. So we'll bear that in mind as Stevens cruises across the line. Right then, that is it. Let's bring you up the finishing results from the second race of the day here at the Autodromo Enzo Udina Ferrari. What a crazy race that was. I don't know how race 3 is going to top that, but we'll wait and see. Race results then. Max Wright, an AM driver, wins for Automech Not Killed. Jack McIntyre tried everything he could. He was throwing the kitchen sink in his pursuit to win, but he couldn't get it in the end. Maciek Sakovic finished just 0.05 of a second behind him on the drag race to the line. Andreas Katz finished just a few hundredths behind them in 4th. Then Alex Everett in 5th, Michael Blake in 6th, 7th for Mark Woodhouse, then Pete Howard, Nicole Foggy finishing in 9th, and Ash Sutton, credit to him, 29 positions to finish in 10th. 11th for Chris Wood, anything you can do, Wojciech Svidovic says to Ash Sutton, he finishes in 12th, Mark Johnston 13th, then the 2 CQR teammates, Jamie Rushworth and Dave Baker, Rusty Laidler in 16th, and then Northern Lights Racing GT Omega Sven Glatzel, and Northern Lights Racing Scuderia Haggis is Dan Brown. Into 19th place then, Ben Hackison. 20th for Colin Cunniff, he was leading at one point. Stuart McFadden in 21st, 22nd for Christian Rose. Jack Regan in 23rd. Alex Simpson gained 20 places after starting at the back to finish in 24th. Matt Keeber 25th. Jack Sedgwick finished in 26th place in the end. I thought he'd been disqualified, but I think he must have just crossed the finish line there. Paul Smith, we saw him off in the gravel earlier at Rivazza. Don't know how it happened. There was just so much going on at the front that we couldn't look at a replay. He finished in 27th. Michael Hall in 28th. Then John Roberts in 29th. 30th for Nathan Davis. Jake Blackhall 31st. Dave Crozier 32nd. Then Ross McFarlane in 33rd place. 34th is Scott Malcolm. Just looking at the time differences there. 30 seconds covering the top 34. It's remarkable. Then it's Rob Graham. Then Laura Bond. Then it's Lorne Murray, Kip Stevens, and then Adam McNally 1 lap down. If we do get a full, he won't be on pole. It'll be Kip Stevens that will be on the pole. If we do get a full -1 again. Carl Janssen DQ'd 2 laps down. Julian Janowski, I think, fared the same fate. And another car's had issues during the race. Pete Newman, Martin Front, Gareth Hickling, Brian Holmes, 2 0 points finishes in a row. And Tristan Bodis off in the wall as well. So those are the cars that had issues during the race.
You have the rule book in front of me. Rule 3.2.6. Reverse is only for drivers that finish no more than 1 lap down. So
okay.
That's to clarify the rule for the reverse.
Yeah, so if you finish 2 laps down, you're not eligible. If you do finish 1 lap down, then you are eligible for the reverse grid. But the way circumstances have gone, that's not going to happen because it's either going to be... No, it's going to be Kip Stevens if we do get a full -1. But we got a full -1 in race 1 for race 2. What will we get here for race 3? So let's spin the wheel. It's going to be a small one. It's going to be 25. So who's that put on the pole, Marco?
Matthew Kibber will be on pole position for race 3.
Yeah, for the final race of the day. And Alex Simpson is going to be starting on the front row of the grid with him. Our broadcasting colleague is going to be starting on the front row. Jack Regan 3rd, Christian Rose 4th, Stuart McFadden going to be starting in 5th. So we'll look forward to that with anticipation here. And we'll see you after the break here on Apex Racing TV for the final race of the day in the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship. Welcome back to Apex Racing TV. Final race of the day coming up here in the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship at Imola. We've had two crazy races. We've had a big reverse grid. Now we've had a small reverse grid. And starting on the pole position for this final race of the day, it's Matt Keeber. Alex Simpson starting in second. First good opportunity for him to get his first win in the BSRTC. Then it's Jack Regan, Christian Rose, Jim McFadden, and Colin Cunniff, Ben Hackerson, Dan Brown, Sven Glatzel, Rusty Laidler, Dave Baker, and then Jamie Rushworth in 12th. Watch out for Ash Sussin, who's going to be starting in 16th place, and the reigning champion Wojciech Svidovic starting in 14th. Welcome back to the commentary box. Alongside me, Anna Maffey, is Marco here. And Marco, final race of the day, small reverse grid, but I still think we should get some pretty good racing here. Yeah,
and crazy races and crazy weather. Now we have overcast 18 degrees Celsius, so I hope the fans brought their jackets for this one, because it was incredibly hot before, and now it's very cold for this third race.
Here we go then. Here come the lights, and they're off and we're away. Good start from Keeber. Can Alex get alongside? He can. Great start by Alex Simpson. He's going to lead here by the time we get to Tamburello, unless Keeber can lunge up the inside. It's going to be the Apex Racing car that leads. He's out of control almost as the Sim Morsel car gets on the brakes, but it's Alex that leads. Second is Jim McFadden. Matt Keeber's up to third. Down to third, sorry. Then it's Reagan. Then it's Cunniff, Christian Rose. And now everybody trying to find their own bit of trackers. There's a CKR Academy car going a bit wide there, going into the Tosa. No, sorry, into the Villeneuve. Oh.
3 wide into the Villeneuve corner.
Somebody's off. That's
Somebody's in the wall.
Oh no, Alex is off. How's that happened? Alex Simpson, our leader's gone. What happened here? He was our leader, and he wasn't even with anybody. Into the Villeneuve chicane. Oh my goodness me, Alex. Well, that's embarrassing. All on his own. He must have been so excited that he was in the lead, and now he's off. It's Jim McFadden leads. How's that happened?
Amazing. All on his own, I think, mid-corner, not in the braking or while coming out, so a very odd crash. And Sir McFadden is very happy.
Would that just have been cold tyres, do you reckon, Marco?
Well, I think that, and also the fact that these drivers are probably used to the very hot track of race 2, and now suddenly they have cold tyres and the track is so cold, the car maybe responds in a different way, and maybe somebody has the car set up for the hotter weather, and now they are in a bit of a predicament with the cold weather. So who knows? That was a very, very strange crash.
A new moment for Alex. There's been cars off at the Variante Alta. Brian Holmes has already had 2-0 finishes in today's race meeting. He's off again in the wall, and he's going to join Alex Simpson at the back of the field. It was a massive concertina going into the Variante Alta there.
There's a car around the Rivazza. It's Garrett Hickling.
Oh, Gareth Hickling. In the... Oh dear, there's a car up and over. It's Alex again. Alex Simpson is having the lap from hell here at... Oh, he's... Oh, oh, that's even worse. He comes around the Rivazza and there's 2 cars parked in front of him, and he just hits the back and has a bit of a weird flip. Yeah, I think he's right to go into the pits there. The car looks destroyed, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's had a meatball. So from first to last in the space of a lap for Alex Simpson. Well, what an opportunity this is for Stuart McFadden. He's got he's gained 4 positions. He leads by 1.7 seconds at the end of the opening lap. Jack Regan in second, Cunniff third. Then it's Rose in 4th, Hackerson 5th, Keeber 6th, Johnston 7th, Laidler 8th, Ash Sussin's up to 9th. And this could be 8th, and it is. Going into Rotella, rounding out the top 10's Nicole Foggy.
Yeah, the leaders are very spread out, and it's only lap 2, so all the contacts and the shenanigans probably caused this. Let's see if Sutton can make his way back from P9 to the top.
The quickest drivers in the BSRTC. He's already gained 8 places. He's even been able to get by Wojciech Svidovic, who started in front of him on the grid. Sedgwick has also gained 10 places. Look at that behind Sutton there. That's Foggy, that's Laidler, and that's Svidovic as well. Rusty Laidler, quite a character in the BSRTC. See if he can defend from the Northern Lights racing car here. He's trying to get up the inside. Wojciech giving him plenty of room. And now he's trying to get the move done on the outside here. It could be done. As long as he doesn't go too far wide, he may risk a slowdown. But Svidovic powers around the outside. And the Apex car should be up into 10th place unless that Northern Lights Racing Scuderia Haggis has got some top speed behind it. But yeah, so through goes the Apex Racing car into 10th.
Nice pass, clean pass. He has to stop for the Tamburello. We've seen a lot of drivers having problems at the first corner today. Probably because usually they were too eager to make the pass and miss their braking point. All good for car number 1 now.
Sutton through, car 0-1 into 7th. Past one sim also car, the next one is within sight. Savidovic past Laidler as well, as Marco was just saying. That's Savidovic now into 9th place, but Laidler is going to try and get by. You can just see Sutton up the road. We're looking here from the chopper at Laidler trying to get back by. And now we're going to cut to Sutton, who's right in the grills of the sim also car here as we go into... Oh, he's going to go around the outside. That's going to be brave. No way through there. Fortunately, though, Marco gets back on before the runoff area on the outside, so he doesn't get a slowdown penalty.
Yeah. I said in race 2, trust an Italian guy. There's no passing on the outside of that corner.
Well, you can't blame him for trying. Oh, well, he takes a lot of the inside curve there, Variante Alto. He'll be lucky if he doesn't get a slowdown there. He looks like he has got away with it, though. And he could be about to get 6th position, but once he gets past Kiebert, the hard work will really begin, because the next group ahead are 4...
Oh, no!
He's hit him. Oh, well, you heard from Marco what he thought of it. Let's have a look. Up the inside he went, and he just, yeah, tipped him wide and Sutton through. Don't know what they're going to say about that, but that was a bit of a bump and run there. And yeah, Sutton up into 6th place. Next up in his sights is Colin Cunniff, who's 3 seconds away, and Hackerson v Rose up ahead.
A nice battle coming out of the Tamburello again. Hackerson and Cunniff on the run down to Villeneuve.
Yeah, Hackerson trying to keep back Colin Cunniff. If these two continue to battle, this will allow Sutton to close in even more. The gap is around 3 seconds between Cunniff in 5th and Sutton in 6th. It's 6 seconds between Hackerson and our leader, Stuart McFadden, in the CQR Academy car. There's Academy cars 1st and 3rd and 9th as well in Laidler. They're doing a very good job here as they go through the Piratella. First time today we've seen the top 10 quite so spread out, but here's a good battle here. This is Nicole Foggy trying to get past Rusty Laidler. These two have been at it since the beginning of the race. Foggy up the inside. Oh, he's good. Somehow they don't touch. They're still at it. Laidler rubbing, Foggy rubbing. Here comes Dave Baker, one of the championship contenders. This might not end well. Oh, oh, and they touch again on the exit of the Variante Alta marker.
Yeah, and now going down to Rivazza, I think they're going to be 2 wide, if not 3 wide. Let's see if cooler heads will prevail.
Oh, that's close. Laidler just about holding on. There's stuff kicking off up the road. Jack Regan still in 2nd. Hackerson is trying to hold back Laidler. No, it's not Laidler, is it? It's Christian Rose. Hackerson up into 3rd. Rose down to 4th. And now let's go back to that crazy battle. Look at this. Foggy, Laidler. The battle graphic doesn't know what to do. Laidler up the inside. Foggy still there. He's going to hit the sausage curve on the inside and nearly goes straight into the CQR Academy car. Now here comes Dave Baker. This is great for the CQR team because Laidler is holding everybody up.
Yeah. Again, going to Villeneuve. This pack of cars is amazing.
There goes Foggy to the outside. Oh, here comes Sedgwick flying up the inside. That was a dive bomb move there, and Foggy gets forced out wide. This is the opportunity for Dave Baker. Oh, there's contact there between Northern Lights Racing's Alex Everett and Jack Sedgwick, I think, as they go over the top of the hill. Sedgwick up the inside, Baker up the inside as well. My word, this is an epic battle here. The Bodak car looks like it's through. That's Sedgwick up 14 positions now to 12th. Now Baker still can't seem to find a way past Nicole Foggy. This is a great job by Foggy to keep up the pressure on Laidler in front and also keep this CQR car of Baker behind. Just one massive train, isn't it? It's about 4 seconds separating a good 15 cars or so, Marco.
Yeah, unbelievable. Again to Rivazza. And again they make it through safely.
Oh.
It's a game of inches here and it's not easy.
Right then, is this Foggy's opportunity? I can tell you that Sutton has got the gap down to 0.7 of a second between himself and Colin Cunniff. That's how quickly he works. Late move to the inside by Nicole Foggy. He's caught Laidler out. And unless Laidler can brake as late as Foggy does, which he can't, then it's going to be the Northern Lights Racing Scuderia Haggis car that's up into 9th place. He is. Laidler down to 10th. And now here comes the Bodak car of Jack Sedgwick. He's almost alongside Baker. Awful exit of Tamburello from Foggy.
Contact.
Laidler up the inside, but he can't hold it on the outside. Sedgwick quarter panels Baker.
Big crash.
Oh,
Jack Sedgwick and David Baker.
That's desperate for Baker. The car might be crabbing. Here it is from another angle, going into the Villeneuve chicane. Baker trying to keep his eyes focused in front, and then Sedgwick up the inside. And then off he goes into the tyre barrier. Fortunately, he doesn't hit the concrete one, but he does hit it with the rear. But yeah, that's not gone at all well. Right then, Ash Sutton. He has arrived on the scene in the battle for the final spot on the podium. Amazingly, we've still got just under half the race to go. It's not totally inconceivable that he could still get to 2nd place. The win might be a bit too far away. It is 8 seconds between Sutton and the leader, but 2nd place could still be on here as he starts to apply the pressure, and he's bringing along the reigning champion in Savidovic.
We have the official retirement for Alex Simpson. He's out of the race.
Oh dear.
Just got confirmation after the terrible first lap he had. Very unlucky.
Yeah, not gone at all well for Alex after starting on second on the grid and getting the lead for about 2 corners. It all went horribly wrong for him after that. Right then. Oh, Savidovic all over the place going through the Tamburello there. Here comes Ash Sutton though. Hackerson is a good driver, but he's definitely not as quick as Ash Sutton here, who's a man on a mission as they go into the Villeneuve chicane. Here we go, on board with Sutton. Vaulting the curbs, which is a skill that you really got to have at Imola here. And there you go, straight up the inside. Wasting no time. And that's Sutton up to 4th.
Clean pass. Now he's going for the podium. I agree with you, and maybe even P2. Let's see. He needs to make a quick work of Axon now, and then go and try to pass Regan for 2nd place.
Yeah, I don't think there's. He's got to gain 3 seconds to get by Regan, and then he's got to gain a further 4 seconds to get by Stuart McFadden. Sutton's quick, but I don't think he's got that much time to get there. Right, up to the top of the hill at the Variante Outer then. Hackerson. Sutton over the curbs, taking an awful lot of curb, and Hackerson doesn't get the best exit there. So this could be a real opportunity for Sutton to try and get the move done. Looking back from Ben Hackerson as they go down the hill. Sutton, I think he's let him by, hasn't he? I think that's what's happened. Hackerson not wasting any time. I think he wants to focus on his own battle, and yeah, he's let Sutton by.
Smart decision. Not good for the spectacle, of course, for the show, but for the driver, it's the safer decision, and he's focusing on his race 100%.
Right, whenever Rusty Laidler is, there is a battle, and he's still got a massive train of cars behind him. He's in 10th place now. He's got 2 teammates in Sven Glatzel and Alex Everett behind him. Everett going to try and get the move done here as they come across the line, I think.
Oh!
Oh!
Oh no! No! No!
Oh my word!
Huge flip!
At the fastest point. Oh my! Please avoid him!
No!
Mark Woodhouse somehow avoided him. So did everybody else, and I don't know how Dan Brown avoided it without. Oh, he's definitely got brown trousers now after after that moment. That was one of the best saves you'll see all season, I think.
Great job by all drivers. That was a scary moment.
Let's have a look back at what happened in the first instance. This was Alex Everett, wasn't it? So let's go on board actually. Let's go on the left front suspension here. Right, he's closing in on Laidler. Oh, but I've seen it before in GT races where that's happened. Oh, and look at he goes for a wild ride. The car's all four wheels are off the ground, and everybody else is able to somehow avoid him. I don't know how Woodhouse did it either. Great job for everybody involved there to avoid all that.
So last lap, Jack Regan 150.5, Ash Sutton 149.6. The hunt is on.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Definitely is. Last time around, yeah, 49.6, almost a second quicker. Laidler dropping down the order. He's off again. How did this happen? He's still somehow keeping that massive train behind. And on the replay, I think Sven Glatzel said enough is enough. And yeah, that was the opening of the floodgates. Glatzel through. Everybody else through as well. Dave Baker's been able to carry on despite his crash at the Villeneuve chicane. He's there in 19th place. Hackerson has had to concede the position to Savidovic now, I believe. So yeah, that's the Apex car through into 4th. Sutton now half a second behind, is half a second ahead, I should say, of Savidovic. He's still 2 seconds behind Regan with 3 laps to go.
I think Sutton made a little bit of a mistake coming out of the Tamburello. All 4 wheels on the grass, lost a bunch of time.
He was still a second quicker than Regan, but yeah, that wasn't the best exit as Sven Glatzel now having to defend for Michael Hall. Glatzel's car looks an absolute wreck. It's amazing how he's been able to keep it up this high in the field. Hall sells a dummy and hits him off. Well, that could be looked at and probably will be looked at. Sven Glatzel's not going to be too happy. Here's a replay marker of what happened. This was over a position just outside the top 10. I think Michael Hall, you could see what he was trying to do, but the execution, I think, required a bit of work.
Yeah, a little bit too late on the brakes, I think, and that was pretty obvious.
Yeah. Right then, this is the battle for 3rd. Sutton v Savidovic. They might get to Regan, but for now, Sutton might have to turn his attention to the Apex Racing car behind as they come round to start the penultimate lap. Two of the best drivers in the series here, duking it out. We'll see if the Apex car can close in. We'll have a look back from Ash Sutton to see how much the Apex Racing car can gain. They just go over the timing line there. You can see the lap times as well. Sutton did it in 49.6 on that last lap, 49.3 for Savidovic. The Apex car was quicker on that one. Over the curves they go at Tamburello, and Regan did a 50.5 as well, so even though Sutton made an error, he was still 9/10 of a second quicker than Regan on that last lap.
Yeah, and Regan must be thinking, please, Ash and Wojciech, continue your fight for another couple of laps so I can get this podium position and go home happy.
He's probably wondering why did it have to be 11 laps? Why couldn't it be 10? Because if this was the last lap, he'd probably be just about comfortable. The gap is now just over a second. It's going to be mightily close. Regan is now close enough that he's in the battle graphic. The gap is now 8/10. That's how quickly Sutton is siving into this gap as they go through the middle sector. 13 positions gained for Sutton, 10 for Savidovic. Other positions gained, Hall gaining 16. 18, Tristan Bodis. He's in 29th place though, so he must have started right at the back. But this is one of the most intriguing battles that we've got on the circuit as Sutton runs very wide. Almost picks up a slowdown penalty. Should just about be okay. Right then, Marco, 1 lap to go. And it looks like the writing could be on the wall for Regan here, but we said that with Max Schreiss in race 2, and he was able to pull off the lap of his life to get the win there. So we'll see what the Northern Lights Racing GT Omega car can do as we come across the line to start the last lap.
Yeah. 2 guys behind him are battling, but they are still gaining, and Still, they have to sort themselves out before they go and try to pass Jack, unless he makes a big mistake or loses a lot of time.
Oh, no, not long to go. Savinovic almost through, and he hits him. Sutton, the gap between Regan and Sutton's now up to a second, so Regan could escape up the road here. Savinovic wants this podium, I think, as they go around the Tosa. That'll be an amazing move. He can get it done on the outside. Sutton gives him the space. Maybe the tyres are done, even in these cold conditions. The Apex car pulls clear. Never seen a car do a move around the outside at Tosa before, but Savinovic, Marco's done it.
Great pass on the outside of the Tosa. Ooh, he can hold it here at the Piratella. Let's see at the Acque Minerali. Wisely, Sutton doesn't go for the outside like he did before.
This is all music to Regan's ears. Savinovic then on course for a podium. Stu McFadden surely isn't too far away. There he is, going through the Variante Outer for the final time. Regan on course for second. There's Savinovic in third. I think Ash Sutton hasn't got anything left. It might be Ben Hackerson that might spring a late challenge here and take fourth position on the run to the line. Meanwhile, though, Stu McFadden coming through the Rivazza, the youngster from Scotland, going to come across the line and take the victory here for CQR Academy. Over the line he goes, checker flag at the ready. He's delighted with that. Regan second, well done to him. Third is going to be Savinovic. Who's going to be fourth? It's going to be Sutton. He's going to be able to hold back Hackerson. Where's the next closest battle on the track here? We've got Mark Johnston holding back Michael Hall here on the run to the line. This is over 11th and 12th, Marco.
Great racing again. And what a battle for the podium at the end. And all the guys now coming on the start-finish line. 11, 12 position. You can put a blanket over these guys. They are so close.
Yeah. Oh, this is close. This is Tristan Bodis. This is Chris Woods, this is Brian Holmes, who's going to get a points finish here. And Kip Stevens, Bodis just about held on to 29th place there. Chris Wood in 30th. Look at this, this is Pete Newman and Union Janowski. Drag race to the line. It's going to be Janowski that just pips Newman there to 36th place. Newman 37th, Bond 38th, and 39th for Murray. And then we're just waiting for the last few cars to come across the line. Scott Malcolm in 40th, John Roberts is going to come across the line, finishing 41st, and then we're just waiting for Sven Glatzel, who is really struggling to get across the line. Don't forget, he was the one that got punted off at Tosa, but he's scrambling across the line because he knows how crucial, Marco, those points could be.
Yeah, we see second-hand car trying to go and pass the start-finish line. We see the leaders getting their parade lap.
There you go. That's how far behind he is. Just got to negotiate the final two corners here. Sven Glatzel, and he will finish in 42nd place. You may wonder why he's still going, but finishing in 42nd, you still get points. Better than not finishing at all and getting 0.
Yeah, I think he has huge suspension damage, so the car is pointing all over the place, and it's not as easy as it looks to get it back to the start-finish line.
There he
which
goes.
He does.
42nd place for Glatzel. Right, let's run you through the finishing order then from the final race on the day. What an evening's worth of action this has been here in the BSRTC. Here are the results. Race victory for Stuart McFadden, second for Jack Regan, 4.6 seconds behind in the end. Ash Sutton looked like he could have been on for a second place until very late on. He drops to fourth in the end behind Wojciech Savinovic. I think that's about the second time today that Savinovic and Sutton have finished just one place apart. Then Christian Rose in 6th, 7th Colin Cunniff, Nicole Foggy in 8th, 9th Matt Keeber, the highest of the AMs, and 10th Andreas Katz. Mark Johnston 11th, Michael Hall 12th, 13th for Pete 12th for Michael Hall, 13th Pete Harrod, 14th Jamie Rushworth. There is a series of 3 CQR cars. Then Jack McIntyre 15th, 16th for Dan Brown, 17th Dave Baker, and then the CQR Academy car of Jake Blackhall. Moving on back, 19th for Mark Woodhouse, 20th Nathan Davis, 21st for Maciek Sakovic, 22nd for Michael Blake, 23rd the race 2 winner Max Wright. Then it's Ross McFarlane finishing in 24th. Then Martin Front, 25th. Paul Smith in 26th. Anna McNally, the Youth Energy car, 27th. Then Tristan Bodis in 28th. Chris Woods, 29th. Brian Holmes, 30th. Kip Stevens finishing in 31st. Then the Automech Not Kill car, Rob Graham. Dave Crozier, Julian Janowski, Pete Newman in 35th. Laura Bond finishing in 36th place. And then moving on even further back, Lorne Murray, 37th. 1 minute behind Scott Malcolm, along with John Roberts. Sven Glatzel 2 minutes behind, and then the car that didn't finish the race, Rusty Laidler. Don't know what happened to Laidler. Oh no, we do know what happened to Laidler in the end. Had the issue with Alex Everett, but he managed to survive for one more lap, and then that was him done. Everett took off down the front straight. Huge moment for him. Jack Sedgwick, the Bodak car, issues for him too. Gareth Hickling 6 laps down, and Alex Simpson. Dear me, Alex. Noob o'clock, I think, for the Road Pro Series driver. Started second, got the lead, spun out completely on his own on cold tyres at the Villeneuve chicane, and that was where he finished. He ended up finishing in 45th, 10 laps down in the end. Right, do we have any interviews? No, we don't. Probably quite a few angry drivers, I reckon, after the 3 races, because it looked like, Marco, literally everybody has a tale to tell after this race meeting at Imola.
Yeah, you can get that feeling by reading the YouTube chat. A lot of angry drivers, you are right, but I mean, it's the product of what we see on the track with 3 races, with more than 40 drivers, one bumper to bumper to each other. It's going to happen, and it was amazing, and it was, I mean, there was not a dull moment the entire evening, so, yeah, I mean, there can be some bruised egos, but the fun that we have and the fun that they have on the track is very, very, you know, I don't know how to speak English anymore, so that was so good.
Speechless. Right, we do have our race 3 winner, Stuart McFadden, waiting to talk to us, so we'll bring him in. Stuart, well done. Well done on the win, because, yeah, great drive. You're able to pull away from everybody and class of the field in the end.
Well, yeah, I got I got an amazing start, to be fair.
But then
tried to kind of tried to keep with Alex, and unfortunately he kind of spun off on the cold tires, which is what we all do, to be fair. I've done it more than once, so Alex, if you're watching, don't feel too disheartened. It's not the first time, and won't be the last time somebody will do it. So yeah. Then after that, I just put my absolute foot down and just tried to open the gap to, I don't even know who's behind me, but I think it was Stephen Baxter. But yeah, I just tried to open the gap up in case, because NLR cars are usually really good on their tyres. So yeah, I just tried to open the gap and make it easier for myself at the end of the race, but I never really came to that, so I was like, well, quids in.
Even when you saw Ash Sutton on the relative, you weren't too worried about him closing the gap at all. You pulled out quite a big margin by that point.
Well, I'm quite lucky to have Ash as my teammate, so a calibre of that driver doesn't. It's a kind of doubt in the back of your mind when you're watching him the relative, but because he's we're in the same kind of team, I wasn't worried about coming through and overtaking me. So yeah.
Great. Well, next week, just need to get the calendar up actually to see where we're going.
It's week 13.
It's week 13. There you go. We've got a week off. Gonna do much with that time off, or get some practice in? I don't know.
I'm not really sure. I'll just depend how I feel at the time, but probably get some more practice in for the next round. Try and kind of get my points back after the meetings that I've missed over the past couple of weeks with my working and stuff. So yeah.
I think it's Montreal. I think that's what it is. Just because I remember that Andrew Woodhouse could be in on that. So watch out for him. Before we let you go,
I will do. I'll keep an eye on my rearview mirror in case he misjudges a braking point and wipes me out or something.
Well, I've just found out.
I'm joking, Andrew.
You might have just opened the YouTube stream, so if you are listening, sorry, Woody, but you're not here to defend yourself, I'm afraid. Stuart, before we let you go, do you want to send a quick shout out to anybody?
First, a shout out to Woody. He's a good guy. I didn't mean anything. And secondly, the CQR guys will give me an absolute minted setup again. So yeah, big thank you to them.
Great. Well, yeah, well done on the win in race 3, and yeah, enjoy the week off, and we'll hopefully see you back on form again at Montreal in 2 weeks' time.
I very much hope so. Bye bye.
It's Jim McFadden there, and yeah, Marco very very level-headed, and yeah, he did a fantastic job at the front.
Yeah, he was. You know, sometimes it seems easy to those that are watching for the guy that is in first position because he has nobody to race, but he has to race against himself. He needs to keep focused, don't make any mistakes, don't watch the relative too much, concentrate on your times, braking zones. And, you know, in a race like this, with a car like this, it's not that easy. So kudos to him. That was a nice win. And, yeah, I hope he enjoys the week off because all these drivers are going to need it.
Yeah, the series will continue next week. And your first BSRTC broadcast, what did you think of all the action we had today?
Top-notch entertainment, and I can't wait to do this again.
Yeah, can't wait for it. Well, as Jim McFadden informed us, we're on a week's break next week, so no action on Thursday, but do join us in 2 weeks' time when the BSRTC will return at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Hopefully Andrew Woodhouse has got his PC issues repaired, and he could even be in the car for that one, so it could be you and me, Marco, again. Who knows? But yeah, for the rest of the weekend, you've got the usual action over the weekend. I believe we have some V8s, and we've got the BSR MX-5 as well. On Tuesday, and the BSR Grand Tour as well on the Sunday night. And we're not too far away from the World GT Championship returning on the Monday as well. Plus the Ritmatech Sports Car Series in the middle of Monday night. But that is it from here at the Autodromo Enzo Edino Ferrari. 3 classic races, and the BSRTC never fails to deliver. We'll see you in 2 weeks at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. From me, Alan Baff, and from Marco Barbanera, bye for now.